Hey, we're Low Moon, and you're watching 101.9 KINK Radio in the Skype Live studio.
Hey, that's Low Moon, everybody. Our new favorite band, your new favorite band. I've known about them for a few months now, so I'm ahead of the curve. Seriously. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for taking time out.
Thank you.
How was it? Played the Bunk Bar last night?
Yeah, it was great.
Did they fill you with their signature sandwiches?
Yeah, well, actually, I chose the salad, which was, I think, a mistake, because then I was starving afterwards.
Yeah, you can get, they've got all these signature sandwiches there, and sometimes that's a good idea. Yeah. Sometimes that's not a great idea.
No, it's good. They're good.
Yeah. And the first time you rolled through was at a place called the Doug Fir Lounge. We were talking about it briefly backstage. We met for a second at that show.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember meeting at that show, but I remember watching the show and I'm going, all right, sometimes you have an impression when you walk into a venue, you're like, this is a new band. This can go a lot of different ways, and it's not going to be not going to be polished. They're still working out the kinks. And I remember thinking to myself, there's something about this band, like you can tell they've been doing this for a while. There was that part was missing. Songs were clean and they were polished, and every song was pretty dang good for not having known any of them.
Yeah,
I'm not just talking sweet.
No, thank you. We appreciate that.
So how did that happen? I mean, how long is this work? Take me through the process of Low Moon coming together.
I started the band like 5 years ago, about 5.5 years ago, by myself in a basement in New York, and then moved out to LA shortly after, and met Chrysantha when I moved out there, and showed her some songs. And Loveless was probably the closest to being finished at that time. We just decided to, I decided to keep writing and started jamming, and then met Sam, and it just kind of, a long process of writing a bunch of songs and throwing a bunch of songs out and just kind of finding our voice. Spent tons of hours in my back shed in my house just jamming and finding what made us click and what got us excited, and then we just kept chasing that for a long time.
Yeah, and some of the interviews that I'd read prior to this our interview was that this seems to be the focus for Low Moon, or for you in particular. It always boils down to what's the best song. What's best for the best song?
And the music. I mean, we don't make any decisions based on anything else besides the music. And maybe that's why Loveless had been out for a long time before we put This Is It out. But we felt like it just needed its time to find people and grow organically. And that's we let the music do a lot of the decision making for us up to this point, which
right.
very short-lived.
No,
career.
stick with that attitude, right? And Loveless, I'm sure we'll hear that. Loveless is like hands down. It's so good. And
thank you.
So tell us about how Chris Walla comes into the picture. Chris Walla was in Death Cab for Cutie for many, many years. Who produced all their records? How does that connection come to be?
When we had enough songs and when the band felt good about making a record, we talked to a few producers, and Chris really clicked with the music. And actually, Chris and I had a great meeting, and then when he met the band, it was just like we got along really well. And and everyone in the band really wanted somebody who had been in a band before to help make our record, because we were a new band and it was our first record, and there was pressure on just that idea of making a record, and we felt really comfortable with Chris. And he made us feel like we could make a record together as a team, and he really dug in with us. And I didn't know if we would find that in many other producers, so we were really lucky to have Chris. He became like a member of the band while we were making the record. There was a lot of ups and downs, and he was there with us. And so we learned a lot about, because he'd been in a band for so long. Yeah. He had made his first record for a record company. He had done all the things that we hoped to achieve, and he was a great role model and a great producer.
So it sounds like he was a kind of a above and beyond just putting the producer label on things.
Yeah, he did a lot more.
He was a counselor as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he helped us along the way find what kind of band we wanted to be and make decisions based on that. And and we had another guy, Frank Titez, who worked on it as well. Who they were kind of yin and yang together. And they got along in a really great way as well.
So that means you've got all these songs in the can and ready to go, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a timeline or.
The timeline is to be decided, I think, but soon.
Taking your time up till now. Well, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Just keep taking our time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in.
No,
and you guys put a lot of effort into performing today, so we really appreciate you sticking around and playing for us today.
No, thanks for having us.
Put your hands together one more time for Low Moon, everybody.